7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, although the rest of the country is on daylight standing. So I'm going to call it 8 p.m., I guess. 5 p.m. on the West Coast, and we are live. Welcome, adventurers. I'm your guide, Sean McZoo, and this is the Reptile Show Reporter. As usual, Bill Strand, the headmaster of the Community Academy, is my co-host. And my wife is saying I'm yelling, and I am loud. I don't know why I'm yelling today, but we were late, so I'm just yelling. Tonight we're going to be discussing snakes. I was whatever the audience wants to hear about, but I think we want to hear about snakes. Bill's only got one. I've got 4, but we can chat about it, and we can talk about all the other ones we've had and all the difficult ones we've tried and what have you. But first, we got to go start the video. Here we go. All right.
And you just cut that off.
Over. What?
And you just cut that off.
It stops. It's over. It's how long the
video
is. I just cut it off. I didn't have to. I didn't want it to be like that song is like 2 minutes. I wouldn't bore the audience with that much. But all right, Two Turtle Tom here first. Ask me all kinds of local questions about the Michael Stanley Band. And Two
Turtle Tom says, I live in the no snake household.
Stanley is. What were you saying, Bill?
Two Turtle Tom says, I live in a no snake household.
Well, that's too bad. Bumming.
Nate says, same here.
All right. Well, you know, these people, they got to learn. All right. Let's put people's faces up so we can start that. And we'll go from there. We got Tom. Let's see. I got to remember my alphabet today. It's one of those days I'm a little slower than usual, I guess. I started off the day really good, doing great, and my brain power has decreased as the day's gone on, I guess. All right. So who's next on the list of people who was actually here?
Mikey Ben.
Mikey Ben, that was the next person, okay. And Mikey Ben, I don't have Mikey Ben and the Canadians anymore. I don't know why. One of these days I'm gonna put him back in there. Who else?
Eliza Ann.
I'm gonna do Eliza Ann and the Cham team.
Yeah.
The only one I have of her now. I do have this one of her, but I don't think she'll be pleased with that one. So we're just gonna do this.
I don't know. She was the one who really wanted it.
Okay. All right. Who else?
Nate Rowley.
Nate. Let's see. There we go. And Nate lives in a no snake house. Holy mackerel, Nate! I am sorry.
Well, except wait a minute. Does Mikey Ben, do you have snakes? Everybody else has said they're not. Oh, Marsha Ann just came in.
Wait a minute. So let's I gotta catch up with you do. Oh, someone said something about my haircut. Yes, I did get one. And a couple days ago, no snake household, Two Turtle Tom, no snake household.
They're passive aggressively saying that I need a haircut.
Eliza Ann, me too. Marsha Ann is here. So I don't know if she's got snakes or not. Renee, we are both here, but do you have snakes? That's the question.
No snakes, she says.
Oh, no snakes? No snakes?
Oh,
no,
Mikey
you don't
Ben
have
has
any
an
snakes,
albino.
you're not allowed
Nelson's
to have any
snake.
snakes. That's the question. Or you don't want any snakes.
Yeah, Mikey's got one snake.
Okay, albino Nelson's milk snake. That's cool. That's a really cool snake. I had a milk snake. It passed though. It just stopped eating. But don't really know what happened.
Stephanie Payne's here.
What?
Stephanie, do you have any snakes?
All right, let's see. Stephanie Payne. Did we miss anybody? The rest of this team?
Yeah, Marsha Ann says just wild venomous here. Okay, well that kind of.
Well, that's you don't want them anywhere near yourself, but all right.
It says spouse says no. That's actually where I was for over 10 years. Yvette said no.
You want to get them eating a good diet and their fears will go away. That seems to be the way it worked for me.
Well.
I used to have to hide the food. And then Jen started eating positive stuff a couple years ago, and that went away. She's not scared at all anymore. Not scared, but
Well, thing is that Yvette used to work with the rat booth at the Renaissance Fair, and so she had a close personal relationship with rodents. And so if I was going to be feeding rodents, that would break her heart. So,
yeah.
but
Well,
after 10 years, she said, I'm okay with it now.
as you know, we have rats, and unfortunately, one of them passed today. One of my
Oh,
daughter's rats. My wife's taking care of them. She went up there, and it was not looking good. And she reached in to take care of it, and it bit her, and then died.
oh,
It bit her and up and died. And so, yeah, we had to tell my daughter a little earlier today that happened. She said that happened about an hour ago, and so
oh.
there you go.
Well, oh, wait. Nate and Stephanie are making some good points. They are saying, but they are allowed free reign of lizards, and so they are happy, which I agree.
Okay, that's
I
good.
was allowed a whole lot of chameleons, and so not having a snake was not a hardship for me. I was just grateful for the fun I was having with chameleons. That was what was important for me.
I kept being told by people that I would get into snakes. I really haven't got heavily into snakes, but I was going to reptile shows for many, many years, and they said, you're going to get into snakes. You're eventually going to get into snakes. You're going to have a lot of snakes. You're just going to have snakes because they're so easy. And I'm just like, I don't know. And I just could not get ball pythons to eat. I would keep them for years and years, and they would just stop eating, and I couldn't get them to eat again. I did all the tricks. I got them eating again, and then they'd stop again, and then they'd stop and die on me. So I never had any luck with ball pythons. Boas eat. Boas eat like they say, like a boa. So boas always eat, and they eat very well. So I've got 3 boas, 2 that are normal red tail, not red tail. They're boa imperators, not the the BCIs, not the normal red tails, which are the bigger snakes. The boas got divided into 2 different I think species now, but and then I've got one that's chat with the people here, Bill, and I'm going to look up what actually this guy is. He's a boa, but he's a Central American T positive albino sunglow.
Well, that is a great question that Nate is asking. For those of you who don't have snakes, what kind of snake would you get if you could?
Wait a minute. There you go. Get a boa. They eat all the time.
There's all kinds of boas.
There's all kinds of albinos and other stuff. The one guy that we had on here, Seth Hurst from Hurst Reptiles, actually successfully bred some. It's a bigger snake. They get like 13 plus feet long. They're I told you my brain wasn't working today, but
well, Renee says she'd like to get a hognose snake if she could get a snake. Stephanie has got the right answer.
I've got a hognose myself, and he's doing. I got all male snakes. I don't know how that happened. This house is full of females, but I guess the snakes make up for it. I've got a albino het snow hognose.
Well, Stephanie has got the right answer. She said she'd get an emerald tree boa.
Okay.
Nate wants a red-tailed boa. Two Turtle Tom wants an Angloan python. Well, that's a strange thing. Who the heck wants an Angolan python?
Tom.
What the
Don't
heck?
get going with him because he's gonna get all about it. What the heck kind of snake is this
I'm gonna
guy
figure
got?
out what this thing is.
I'm gonna quickly look here, Bill.
All right, Tom. What is special about an Angolan python? I look at it and it looks like a standard python with so it's got different markings, but what is special about that? Eliza Ann says, I'll be boring and say I want a ball python. Well, that's fine. That's fine. Those are cool.
It is so cool. The social media, I just looked up Hearst Reptiles LLC, and they had baby Burmese pythons. That's what I was trying to think of.
Oh, Geraldine's here. Hello,
Hey,
Geraldine.
hey. Bill's running the show, and I'm busy doing the background color work.
Well, let's see.
I
And
would
golden
really like a
pythons
Burmese
are the
python.
alternative
These
to
are
ball
kinda cool,
pythons.
but
Well,
they get huge,
what
and
does?
it's potentially big enough that they would. Ohio only allows you to have a snake without telling them to be 13 feet. And I was wondering, how would you measure it? You actually take a rope and you run it around the snake and figure out how long it is, even if it's curled up.
Oh, Geraldine wants a super dwarf retic. All right. I met a super dwarf retic at Clint's Reptiles, and I got a rundown by Garrett Hartle
Yes,
of Reach Out
Garrett
Reptiles.
is the expert in super dwarfs.
He put
He's in
a super
Pennsylvania.
dwarf retic around my neck, on my shoulders. It was the most incredible experience. That guy, oh my goodness.
So, Bill, I did that as well. I had got pictures of me with the super dwarf retrick, a couple of them that they had. One from Garrett and one from was not. One of them was a super dwarf. One of them was just a dwarf retic.
Okay, you know what? I'm not going to be able to tell the difference. This is the first time I've ever really heard about these
It's
things.
the size, Bill, and it's their genetics. It's
all right from different islands.
Normal retics are like huge. If you get them on the smaller islands where they grow smaller, and you combine the bigger ones with the little ones, you get a super dwarf or a dwarf. It depends on the genetics.
All right.
I know a lot about it because what's Garrett Hartle's company?
Reach Out Reptiles.
Reach Out Reptiles is in about a 2-hour trip from here. Every year I try to get there, and I have something to do on there. They have a day when all the people who support them get to show up and just take a look at the thing. So it's always in July, I think.
Should I see if I can get my emerald tree boa out?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, I'm not going to do this on camera, but you may hear. I cannot guarantee that I won't get bit.
Okay. And then I'm going to get one of the boas out. I just fed them a couple of days ago, so they shouldn't be hungry.
Let's go.
All right. While we wait for Bill, I'm going to check out the chat. Why is he a bad example?
Oh, well.
Garrett Hart. Oh, Garrett could sell ice to an Eskimo, but still, they're awesome. His super dwarf retics are awesome. But yes. That's one of the reasons I didn't go to Tinley, because Garrett was going to be there and have all these super dwarf retics that I would love to have, like the albino one that's kind of purplish in nature, and I wouldn't be able to leave the place without taking one. Do you have it, Bill?
Ooh, I very nearly escaped being aerated.
Okay. You had holes put in you, huh? All right.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to bring up what I
All right, while you're doing that, Bill, I'm going to walk off the camera and let's see what can
well, you got to bring it up.
Oh, okay.
There we go. So she was nicely coiled up, but then I said, okay, I'm going to try to gently uncoil you. Yeah, well, this is what I'm faced with now. So
I'm getting the albino boa, another room.
Bill, oh, Squishy. Oh, hey, let me see if I can. Squishy is out.
Ow!
Let's see. Yeah, so all those people who
Hey, still hungry apparently.
Oh, I gotta love snakes.
Wow. He was still hungry, Bill. Apparently, I didn't feed him enough this week. But I got him. Hopefully I don't get bit. All right. Are people still watching? Anyone still here? All right.
Okay. Well, everybody, they asked for Squishy.
All right.
So that's Squishy up in the upper left-hand corner on my camera.
Okay. I'm going to put us back. I'm going to put this down. I'm going to get rid of your guy. And this is my boa. He just took a big old bite of me, but he's not that big. So he didn't leave a mark, or not much of a mark. But this is my boa here. If you can see him. I don't know if you can see. Oh, he keeps turning himself the other way, so you see his belly, not his body. But he's really cool. I gotta worry about putting him towards the camera. That's what I need to think about. There we go. Stop looking at. There he is. We named them after Spanish things. The two other ones are cat and dog. Perro and Gato are siblings. This one is Maron, because he was a little bit brown before, so we named him or maroon. I guess Maron is maroon in Spanish. So I don't know, because I was doing Duolingo and all that stuff. I took off my glasses. No wonder I can't see. Let's see. He just bit me a minute ago, Bill. I don't know if you guys could hear from the other room.
Yeah, we can hear that.
I put my hand in there and he took a snap. But luckily, these guys, he's not big enough to. I mean, he's not big enough to cause enough damage to actually.
Yeah, well, he'll stop
when
he knows that you don't have food. Mine is not going for food.
If you look at my hand, you can see that right there.
Yeah, but
I got aerated on my index finger at the very base.
If I picked up mine, even though it tried to bite me, it would continue to try to bite me.
No, this guy, once he figured out I was not food. Actually, he's never bitten me before. I wasn't even afraid of him. Apparently, I'm not
looking at me, wanting a taste of my blood.
Yeah.
Wow. Why do I get myself in these abusive relationships?
He's like 1 or 2. But I'm growing them slow because I got told by the guy. Actually, this one I got from Seth Hurst, the guy who I told you had the Burmese pythons born. He told me that sometimes they eat something too big for them, and it tears out their innards, and that's how they die. And I think that's what happened to my other 2 that I had. Was I was feeding them something too big, and they just ate it anyways. Because these eat like boas. Let's see. I've never actually put this guy on my neck. Let's see what he does. All right, let's see. Put the camera down a little bit. Oh, you know what? No wonder I'm at such a strange angle. I got my desk not sitting the right way. I don't know why I'm just doing this like this. Like, oh, there you go. I'm trying not to let him go, but because I don't want him to get away in this room. He'll get out and he'll get away and never be back. But let's see. I'm gonna lift up the desk, angle my camera down the way I always do, and worry about him taking off to greener pastures. There we go. All right. All right. Okay. So I'm going to put this guy back because he's a little bit, at least he's not biting me, but he's a little move. He's always in motion, which I think boas sometimes are. That's why, ball pythons are known to be ball pythons because they create a ball. These guys are not known to be in a ball. So actually, you know what? I'm going to go get one of the other 2.
Okay.
All right. It's a normal. This one is a normal. These other 2 are normal.
I think. Actually, here. Let you know what? Let's bring Squishy out. I know we did. It's hard to do this on camera, but let's. No, actually, it never works on camera. Oh, well. Yeah, Squishy is awesome. We love show and tells. We don't like bites. Yeah. I knew what I was getting into with this one. And I'm a chameleon guy, so I just don't feel the need to hold. hold everything that I got, and so I'm okay with not holding her. And this is the kind of the risky time because she hasn't eaten for a while, and she's starting to get to the point where she is ready for her next mouse. And so, yeah, this is kind of a dangerous time to start playing with her because she's looking for her next meal, and that next meal is going to happen on Monday. So I got this nicely timed out. Let me see Squishy. All right. We got to do Squishy. Squishy. Squishy of the 9 fingers and the ring of doom. People are saying, what is the context of that, Bill? Anybody know Rankin Bass? All right. Eliza Ann. This is for Eliza Ann. Let's see if I get out of the way. There's
there looks like there's a dark brown chameleon there. It looks like a branch though, Bill.
Let's see. I'm trying to get the
it's moving though, so that's good.
Yeah, but my goodness, it is so hard to get the focus on this little guy.
I almost got bit again, Bill, trying to get this guy out, but this guy is a lot more food hungry.
Well, we'd actually like to see it on video, Sean. There we go. There we go. All right. That's for Eliza Ann. All right. Squishy's gonna go back.
This guy is that I got a pair of regular boas, regular boa imperators, boa, at the Pittsburgh Zoo. They were siblings, both of them males. And the only difference between the two of them is the one has a dot on every this one's got a dot, but there's a dot like a circle on it. Where you see there's nothing, you can't see there's nothing, but when you can see this thing, it's going for the camera. But he is so this one's Gato.
Well, Mikey Ben's got a great point for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That smooth and rough green snakes are arboreal snakes. So those of us who love chameleons, and they're insectivores. I actually looked into getting one of those at one time, but then I decided, my goodness, I have too many reptiles as it is. Then is asking, Bill, you're feeding rodents only, or are you offering chicks and quail too? I'm doing rodents only. But that is because that is what she is eating. I haven't tried chicks or quail.
All right, Bill, I'm going to put this one back because he's squirmy too.
All right. I'm
going to put him towards the camera now. He's behaving. This is Gato. And I'm going to grab Pero so you can tell the difference. You're going to see this one spot, which is around just on my middle finger there. There's a dark spot that actually has a circle in it. And the otherwise, they're the exact same snake. But I'll be back.
All right. And I need to congratulate Renee for making her first fruit fly culture today. Woo! Everybody, congratulate Renee. That is a milestone in the herpetoculturist's growth. Is to make your first fruit fly culture. Let's see. Liza Ann, my next snake will be a flappy flap brevicorn. Oh, so cute. Grove green snakes are nearly all wild caught when available in the pet trade. Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate. I wish, but I bet you they are so cheap. I couldn't find any. That's what happened there. But I bet you they're so cheap that it's not worth breeding them. James Cross. Oh, James is sneaking in at the last minute. All right, hello, James.
Hey, James. Better late than never, huh?
Chicks and quail are less fat than I'll try. I'll see if I can get a hold of them.
Yeah, they had quail my wife had quail eggs last week, a couple days ago. She had regular quail eggs. You eat 2 for every regular egg.
Garter snakes. I used to feed my garter snake goldfish. That is cool.
This is actually Pero here. As you can see, if I can put my glasses on, he is almost identical to the other one. These are just a little over a year. I have to look up and see where the other guy is. How he's only a couple years old, I think.
Yeah,
I got his
turtle
birthday
time.
down somewhere, so let's see if I can figure out how to get that one spot so you can. Oh, what's going on? There's something happened with my computer. Okay, you can kind of see he's got like a
Yeah, Turtle Tom, me not hanging around that website is not an accident.
All right. So how can you see this guy's like spot? I don't know how this is. All right, this is Pero's spot. This is a spot here. Let's see if I get it on camera. This is not the. Oh, you can see the spot right there now. Like a little, like that spot right in between my thumb and my finger right there. That's the only difference between the two snakes. So you can't really tell them apart. I mean, obviously they're in different cages, but you can't really tell them apart other than that. That's the only difference.
Is that kind of thing interesting to ball python people?
What?
You're
I don't
showing off
think that
a
would be
spot.
interesting to ball python people because these are boas, but boas eat. Ball pythons don't eat.
All right, so boa people, do they care about the spots?
I'm sure they do. They care about everything.
Okay. Because I'm sitting here looking at you saying, look at this spot. And I'm thinking, is this what snake people do? I mean, you want to show the difference between a Johnson's chameleon and a Jackson's chameleon. Oh, that means everything to me.
These are siblings. These are clutch mates. Both male, so that would be if you could tell clutch mates apart, which probably in chameleons you can't. So there you go. I'll be back.
Okay. Renee says, I like a lizard better. I would get a skink if anything other than a chameleon. Well, I would get a red-eyed crocodile skink. That has been on my list of my want list for a long time. And I haven't gotten it, not because I can't, but because I'm reining myself in. But if I were to get another reptile, the red-eyed crocodile skink would be top of the list right now. I love those guys. Triple Inotus. Would absolutely love to work with those. So Mikey Ben alternates mice with chicks and quail. I'll see if there is if I can get poultry that is small enough. I don't know. I've never fed them, so maybe it's easy to find them small enough. But well, she'll eat a full-grown mouse now, so I guess that means she could eat a chick or something. Really, I am a beginner when it comes to emerald tree boas. I use everything that I know from my chameleon world in creating arboreal environments, which has worked quite well so far, but still new to snakes.
All right, Bill, I'm back. I didn't get bit by that one. He tried to bite me.
Go back and try again.
He tried to bite me, but but no, he didn't. So
Renee's got a gecko named Dax.
All right, where are we at? What are we talking about?
Well, we've been talking a little bit about what to feed snakes and going beyond rodents and getting into poultry. And Renee is sharing that she's got a crested gecko, a hateful bearded dragon, which is the best kind to have, and a Pac-Man frog. And Marchann's talking about getting a pet gator.
Pet gator. Can't have them in Ohio.
What?
I did see a video about somebody saying, how do you tell if there's a gator in the water in Louisiana? And the answer was, if it's wet, then there's a gator in it. That's social media for you,
Yeah, well, my guest for next Saturday, Stephanie Kong, she's talking about getting a Nile crocodile.
Wow. So, they had a gator at the Reptarium. They had a couple gator, black and a white one. I think the black one passed. It was all black and the other one was albino. So the one passed.
But says, can't pick up gators. They get too big. Yeah, but you get them as babies. I'm not encouraging people to get gators.
You're better off getting something smaller, like a what do they call those things? Those tiny little gators that don't get very big.
Cayman? Those get
Cayman,
big
yeah, they're
too.
still terribly can do kind of damage, but
Liza Ann would love a tortoise. Sulcata would be the dream one, but I think I'll have to get something smaller. Okay, well, I'll leave that to you and Two Turtle Tom to talk about. See, Nate's got Eurymastix, Utila Island spiny-tailed iguana, and false chameleon.
mm-hmm.
And Renee says caimans are
Fine-tailed
horribly
iguanas
mean.
are awesome.
Are they meaner than emerald tree boas? They got bigger mouths, though. The emerald tree boa will aerate my hand. The caiman will just take it.
And it won't give it back either.
Dang. Freaking caimans. Let's see. James says then the gator gets too big and they throw him in the sewer, and that's why the rats are so big in New York.
Yeah, I agree with Tom. Start with the nice captive bred Russian tortoise or any of those other testudo tortoises, the Herman's tortoise, and I think one of them went. One of the ones, it's the smaller one, went onto the list of what do you call it? Endangered species. But which one of those, Tom? Which one of the testudos got to be the Egyptian? I think is an endangered species. Or I mean, you can still get them in the United States. You just can't ship them out. But that's good that you can't ship them, so you don't want to get anything shipped. But anyways, let's see.
Well,
okay, Russians are
things.
They're called Horsfeld, I think now, Tom. You're behind the times. They're called Horsfeld tortoises, right? Russian is not a great name for them. I don't know why. Because they call Egyptian tortoises Egyptians. I don't know why. You wouldn't call a Russian tortoise a Russian tortoise, but there was some kind of a thing to tell people not to call them, like to call them Horsfelds and not Russians. But anyways.
Renee says, I do not canoe or kayak around gators. I was taught you don't do stupid shit. But Marcia Ann was saying the baby gators swim up to the side of your kayak. So obviously Marcia Ann didn't read that book, Renee.
Yeah, the Russians, there's always redfoots and sulcatas and other bigger tortoises at the rescue. But the Russians have been in. They're out. They come in and they go. They come and they go. People, because they're only like this big. They're maybe a little bit bigger, but they're really just a handheld tortoise. Yes, that's what I was trying to say. Egyptian is listed under the U.S. Endangered Species Act and therefore cannot be sold across state lines. There you go. That's what I was trying to say. Thanks for being my spare brain there, Tom. I need 2 or 3 of those.
I used to kayak in the ocean. So, all right. See, Marcia Ann had a green iguana for 10 years, would like a banana yellow iguana. Huh. All right.
You mean a green iguana who's banana yellow or a banana pectinata? Can you clarify? Because a banana pectinata is what actually I have now. And I have multiple green iguanas over a 30-year period, but
because these iguana nerds need to know the difference.
What about a pectinata, a spiny-tailed iguana? Those are cool. They don't get very big.
No, Renee likes the mini Kaluma. They're nice and maintainable. So,
Tom is just full of trivia. Originally called the Horsfeld tortoises, the Russian tortoise got their name because the Soviet army would catch them in Afghanistan in the 80s and would take them home to Russia. I didn't know that either. I thought they were part of the testudo thing. Aren't they part of the testudo family or whatever it is? It's all over Europe. I guess that kind of Russia is kind of near Europe, but I'm going to have to agree with Nate on this one. Spiny tails are the way to go. I've had green iguanas for a long. I had green iguanas that I could just hold on my shirt and wear as a tie. They were nice, and it all depends on the temperament, and the temperament is individual and what you do to train them. But as a whole, okay. So
me
yes,
and Renee are going to be friends. Okay. She likes babies. I love baby chameleons. I want to get shamrock chameleons so established that everybody else is breeding them and I just raise the babies.
Wow, the Asian steppe tortoise is another name for the Russian tortoise. The core of their range is the stand countries. Interesting. All right. We've gone way off topic tonight, Bill, even though I took out 3 snakes to let everyone see my my boa. So I just got to talk to the people for just a second. I need to figure out how old the first boa was.
Well, yeah, we end up talking about tortoises. Shows how much people like the snakes.
I don't think that's the truth, Bill. You didn't
well,
even
yeah,
get
there's a lot
out.
of talk about snakes back when you were getting bitten. Then it got boring.
I know. I did
bring
yell
out the blood,
so you
man.
guys could
Stop
hear
talking
me.
about dots and bring out the blood. That's what we want. We're like a Roman Colosseum here. Oh, let's see.
I bought that one, the male sun glow, November or sometime in November of 23. And what's his date of birth? I got to look at my notes. Looking in the wrong spot. Holy mackerel. This is really a boring show, Bill. Help me make this better.
Well, I could go and I could try to pick up the Emerald Tree Boa again.
Yeah, do it on camera so you get bit and we know what's going on.
No, she's gone back to sleep. I should probably not bother her again. So.
Okay, this is not right. I got this one. Reptile ripped? Bit or something? Okay. What? Okay.
Oh, Renee has a good standard. Mm-hmm. Get too big for me to pick up. If I can't pick it up, I don't want it. You can't get them to the vet very easily. So,
all right, so I know that I bought the tortoise in November of 23, and he was a few months old, so that makes him almost less than 2 years. Not the tortoise, the the boa, the Central American T positive sun glow boa is not even 2 years yet. So there you go.
I've learned tree boas are too spicy in the evening. Yeah, it's kind of evening now.
What is the biggest snake I have seen? I was at Tinley and I showed pictures of it. We held a what do you call it? A green anaconda. My wife, my daughter. You know what? I'm gonna, Bill, take care of the people. I'm gonna go find it and put it on here.
What are you gonna find?
I'm gonna find a picture of me holding the green anaconda.
Okay.
All right. If I just entertain the crew so I could do this.
All right. Well,
be entertaining, Bill.
All I'm saying is, well, I'm just talking about these babies back here. They're stabilized. They're starting to grow, and hopefully in a couple months we'll be able to tell what locale they are. Get them really, really growing, and I'm just gonna stuff them full of food. Eliza Ann says, sadly, I'm not ready for another chameleon yet. Oh, you're talking in context of discovering a treasure trove of Parsons chameleon babies. All right. So
I've got him, Bill. I'm just going to be one more second.
all
We'll
right.
do the two pictures of me and two of my kids, my wife, and I holding anacondas.
Oh, Liza Ann is guessing that Squishy is a girl. Okay.
There you
Wow.
go. There is me at Tinley last year about this time. That is an anaconda. Abigail's holding it. My wife, Jen, my daughter, Mary, there on the end. And as you can see, the mouth is right towards my face there. That is the biggest snake I've seen. No, actually, I've seen some at zoos that are a lot bigger, but that's the biggest snake I've ever held, I guess. And there's another picture of it closer up with me looking really worried because it's looking at my face and looking like it's going to eat me. Because I think that one probably could get me down. So I don't know. But that was a rescue that the Dragwood Conservatory, you just had to give them a donation. They'd let you hold your snake. Abigail did not want to leave that snake go. She was holding on to it tight for life. Like, this is going to be a snake I'm going to take home. And I'm like, we're not allowed to have that in Ohio. Or at least we have to have special permits. So that's the answer to that question. That's not the biggest one I've ever seen. I've seen a reticulated python and an anaconda that was much bigger in the zoos, but that was, whatever one might be in the Cleveland Zoo right now in their rainforest type exhibit. But let's see. All right, let's see. Well, who else? What else is going on? Yes, that was a huge snake. All right. All right. What is Nate talking about? This is all over the place, Bill. I can't keep up with
talking about what he feeds his tegu.
Tegu, okay.
That's right. Marcia Ann's talking about her chickens, and Two Turtle Tom's talking about big snakes at zoos.
All right.
And Renee is trying to rein in the possibilities of what could come in her front door.
All right. Well, good. It's about 45 minutes, Bill. I'm tired. It's going to be a long rest of the week.
Send the doctor to bed.
Yes, send me to bed. Good night, everyone. Have a good night. Thanks for being here once again, and we'll figure out something unique to talk about next week. Well, have a great week.
See you on Saturday. Come on Saturday at noon Pacific.
Yes. Bill, I forgot to ask about announcement. Any other announcements?
Just that. Come Saturday, hear James and Stephanie talk about their Madagascar adventures.
Okay. Sounds great. Have a good night, everybody. See you next week, same time.
Bye.